Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're with us on this Monday morning. Getting ready for a big week in Panhandle Outdoors. Got some guests coming on this week. Steve Shea will be coming on later, showing later on this week, or maybe next week, first part of next week, about showing all his work with his camera work with all the deer. He's got all kind of just factual information, coming from a scientific standpoint about the movement and all kind of cool stuff. So we're looking forward to that. Another guest or two coming on this week. So we appreciate your viewership. Take a look at our weather brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning. Drew Pollard and hard-working crew taking care of everyday comfort needs. It's been comfortable having it lately, especially in the evening. So we really appreciate all their support taking care of that stuff. Though, take a look at the high today. It's going to be 80 even, a low 56, and the water temperature is still at 76 degrees. A Monday moon forecast we had a full moon last week. It was still talk about a week ago, a spectacular full moon a week ago last night. So as you know, we're sort of waning now, getting ready for a new moon coming up in a couple of days, and it'll be again, the November moon is always a good strong one, especially if the weather helps out. Tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today is the Monday the 17th. Can you believe we only got one full week left after this week of October. It's strong tides this week. Next couple of days, strong tides. It's still high this morning at 2:02 is the high tide, and it's going to be low this afternoon, right after lunch, about 2:28. Okay, the wind will be coming west-northwest at about 10. It'll be pretty strong coming there. And like I said, the temperature at the end of the period stays steady the last 3 or 4 days. I've been keeping an eye on it, and it's going to take another drop pretty quick, probably sometime this week. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. We get so much input from the viewers, and it just really makes it a unique show to me, what you send to us. And Bill Roxby has always been good about keeping us abreast of what's going on in South Walton over there in Santa Rosa. And he has some good documentation of what he sees and hears over there. I'm gonna share his post with you. He sent it to me last week. Okay, hey, good morning, Winston. We have a new addition to our family. These are 4th generation deer. I videoed these behind the house at 12 o'clock midday. Remind viewers, please slow down because deer are on the side of the road and babies are all out too. Okay, so here, okay, this is one right here in the middle of the day. And there's some little deer in the background back there. They're just coming to feed. And this is unique. And I actually are having them at my house. I've had them off and on for years, but I look back over all of Bill's stuff, and he just sent some really good stuff over the years. And I look back, really, really good stuff of what's going on. They're just golfing with his family and wearing the shirt and all kind of stuff, and just doing all kind of cool stuff. And remember this big buck he had over there at Santa Rosa? The bucks were moving. That was in some good stuff there. So anyway, Bill Roxby, thank you for sharing that with us and keeping us abreast, like I said, what's going on in South Walton. South Walton is a unique area. It's a natural area. The development, of course, is sort of sprawling out now, but there's some pockets in there. Fortunately, we have that little state park or state forest in there, and hopefully it can keep some of the deer and all active and protected in that area. Speaking of protection, I brought this up a while back. I say a while back, it wasn't that too long ago. I get reports from the Florida Highway Patrol on different things going on, and I keep getting. I've got 3 or 4 recently reports of. I'm going to find here reports of the ATV accidents. I don't have it on here. Let's see. Let's see. Here it is. Okay. Anyway, I just got 2 reports last week of ATV accidents here in the Florida Panhandle. And it's just something that really, really bothers me because I started looking at statistics last night. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of statistics, but they're sort of informational, and I just want to bring out some highlights of what was. And first thing I looked up, what's the causes of ATV accidents? Number 1, driving an ATV on a paved surface. See, they're supposed to be out in the woods. Number 2, riding double on an ATV that isn't designed to carry a passenger. Number 3, letting inexperienced operators ride with an experienced riding partner. Or number 4, riding without adult supervision. And then, of course, number 5 is always watch this, performing dangerous stunts and maneuvers. Or then the last one, being in an unfamiliar place. We lost, I know, it's just, let me go through a couple more of these. Most accidents, this is more proof right here, are on the roads or highways, okay? This segment here, children account about 27% of the injured, but top one, a whopping 80% of ATV fatal injuries happen to those driving these vehicles. Okay, the driver, in other words, the driver is going to be the fatality in 80% of the cases. Driver is. And then also talk about, I found an area here where they didn't have actual helmets on. Okay, here it is right here. Most common ATV head injuries, of course, are most common. Okay, second, spinal cord injuries. And then the next one, of course, leg injuries. I know people who've lost their legs from injuries, and of course internal from hitting a stump or something, and then fractures. That's what's going to. Those are the injuries. I just felt I've got a report from Highway Patrol again last week about the ATV accident. There was 2 last week, and the week before there was 1. I know there was 3 or 4 within the last couple of weeks here in the Florida Panhandle. So I felt very strong about just talking to y'all about it. And I know most people our age are careful, but a lot of times we lost Roy Jones, who from Jones Valley, but we lost some people just to accidents, even experienced people. So your loved ones, tell them not to ride on paved roads unless they're going from point A to point B on a small area, but most of them are on pavement and being careless. All right, let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. I know this time of year everybody's getting ready to get in the woods and all kind of things, and I ran across this. I thought it was humorous, and I think you'll appreciate this. This is Billy Mullen talking about, I had the best husband ever. He built me a new hunting blind this year. He put lots of blood, yes, injuries occurred, and sweat into it. It's fully insulated and a lot of room. So here it is. You got to start it here in the driveway. Okay, and there's a good frame right there. I'll go through the sequence right here. Then I started walling it up. Okay, got some sliding windows in it. That's really good. Okay, then he's taping it off to get it painted. I mean, isn't that a good construction job? Right there in the driveway. What a good husband. Got it painted. And notice at the bottom of it, he's got these sort of, you can drag it around in the field. You can move it in different areas if you need to. And here it is out there. Got it all set up right there on the edge of the field, and then he can move it next year. What a well-constructed job. And I just thought y'all would appreciate something like that. So you husbands don't have anything to do this coming weekend, build your wife a nice deer blind. They would appreciate it. If she don't like to hunt, let her just take pictures out of it. Okay, and it's insulated. All right, now let's move on. This is the last, we're wrapping up gator hunting season. I haven't talked a lot about it this fall. I haven't shown hardly any pictures of the gators. I've seen some pictures of gators being taken, but it's going to wrap up the last day of November. It ends November 1st. And you know, you got to get your name drawn and everything like that. So that's the deal. But I thought it'd be a good time to. Several years back, I was up at Lakeview Falls at a conference and got to interview the couple that has the world record gator. So I thought, with gator season wrapping up, let's show this little this little 7-minute segment on the world record gator up there up in South Alabama. So Jeff, let's roll this. All right, folks, I'm here with a world record holder for killing the biggest gator in the world, Miss Mandy Stokes. Hello.
How are you today?
Well, I'm excited. Listen, a great story here, but I don't have time to get into it because I want you to tell your story. But we were at the Buckmasters when they made the call. I was looking at the world record then, and they made the call that you had one bigger. So tell us now, give us some background about yourself.
I'm Mandy Stokes. My husband and I live in Marengo County. I'm originally from Wilcox County, where we killed the alligator. I've only been alligator hunting just the one time, so I guess you could call it beginner's luck. But The same alligator that you're talking about was at Buckmaster's. The first time I ever saw that mount is really what inspired me to ever want to go alligator hunting. That was a large gator. And, you know, you can always hope you kill one that big or bigger, but, you know, it was just an awesome experience.
So you told John, when you saw that gator there, you said that's your inspiration. You told John you wanted to go gator hunting.
I just walked, it was a situation where you could go around and around the mount, and I just walked around and around the mount, and I was so impressed by the size of his feet.
Yeah.
More than the length of, or the size of the alligator, but I just was in awe, and I told John, I said, I want to do this. And so we started applying for alligator tags. It took us a couple years to get one, and we hadn't got one since, but we're going to keep trying.
This is a great story. So y'all get all prepared and all. So you do everything to do and all. Right?
Yeah, well, some of the friends of ours in the local area, they hunt with dogs. They hog hunt with dogs,
right.
And so they had a gator take one of their dogs down. And anyway, they didn't get the dog back, of course. And the dog being taken under so quickly, they knew it was a large gator. So we had heard tell there was a large one there, but we had also heard tell that there were large ones in other areas that we had gone and scouted.
Yeah.
I think there are large ones there periodically all the time.
Yeah.
They just make their rounds. So anyway, we lucked up on this one.
So y'all coming in at night, you got the lights on, you see a little red eye. I mean, you already see them, right?
We did. We saw his eyes, and to be honest with you,
you saw some earlier, right?
We did. On the way in, we saw other gators' eyes, and his didn't look any different than the other gators we had seen coming in. So we really made a joke that, oh, this is probably just another small one. But by the time we made our way over there to him with the boat, he had submerged. So we knew there was an alligator there, but we knew nothing about his size. So John and my brother-in-law Kevin just said, let's put a hook in him. And so we did, and the story goes from there.
So y'all, I mean, so you were able to get the hook in them, and the fight was on then, right?
Well, it wasn't necessarily a fight like you think. Like the depiction on TV is not necessarily the case all the time. I guess I'm not going to say it's not all true. However, he just submerged each time. There was only about an hour to an hour and a half before I eventually dispatched him. I did fire at him one time and his head was under the water. That's the only time he reacted in, I guess you could say, a negative way. Yeah. When I fired the gun, we already had some lines on him, and we had attached them to our boat, and he towed our boat across the slough. And there was a lot of cypress stumps in that area, so when he towed the boat, it crashed into the stump. And that was the only time it got really hairy through the night.
Was it scary like?
At that point, fear did take part. I agree.
All right, so once you dispatch him, so y'all got to get him in a boat then, right?
Well, that's what we thought. We did. We heard him taking on water after he was dead. So we got his head up out of the water, and we were able to troll out of the stumps where we were, and we pulled our boat up on some land, and all five of us got out of the boat and attempted to put him in the boat, you know. And even at this point, we had not seen his body in its entirety.
Oh my goodness.
So we still hadn't, and we were a little naive on the size of the gator, I would say. But once we exhausted all our efforts to put him in the boat, we just tied him up to the boat as good as we could and trolled back down river to the landing.
Oh my goodness. How far were y'all from the landing?
About a mile to a mile and a half.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. And then, did you know you had a record then? You had a big one.
Well, we were just trying to beat our state record, which was 14.2. That would have been pleasing to us. We didn't even know there was a world record, really.
Right. So who you called about? You called a game commission when you get back?
Well, we have a weigh-in station in the area because it's a regulated hunt.
Okay.
And so we had some friends waiting on us, and they used their Polaris Ranger to pull it out of the water. We got it back to the weigh station. And we knew before we loaded it onto the trailer that we had beat the record in length. We didn't know how much he weighed yet.
Yeah.
When we got him back to the weigh-in station, it took him a while, but to get him up, to attempt to get him up on the scales, but he broke some of the shackles and things that were.
Man.
So at that point, it was delayed a little longer. They had to bring in a backhoe to weigh him. But when the weight came in, we knew we had the state record, but it was a couple of weeks before we were confirmed with a world record.
Wow. So did somebody said did y'all cut him open and everything?
The taxidermist did cut him open. We delivered him to the taxidermist on Sunday. We killed him on Saturday morning early. We delivered him on Sunday. It was a couple days when he opened him up. He had approximately a 3-year-old doe inside.
Holy cow.
He did. In her entirety. He had 2 squirrels, a duck, and parts or remains of a small cow or calf. He had some of the teeth out of one.
Oh my goodness.
He had been eating extremely well.
Wow, they had a buffet right there.
I agree.
Well, then he got a record. How did you feel when he realized it was a world record?
You know, it was a couple weeks before it was confirmed.
Yeah.
So we were excited by all means, but the newness of the hunt was starting to kind of to wear down. I mean, which we were so bombarded with media and different things wanting at that time. So that just opened up another whirlwind of interviews.
Well, it's called the Stokes Gator now, right?
That's right. We have referred to him as Cecil a little bit ever since the controversy with the line, but that was just a joke, you know.
Okay, I'm going to congratulate you. I know our viewers are going to love this interview, and congratulations that we have a female that now holds the world record gator. That's amazing.
And a lot of my friends and relatives are glad, you know, they're just with the woman thing, you know.
Yeah. Well, and real quick, what are some other outdoor activities you enjoy?
Here at our home there in Marengo County, the most abundant hunting and fishing or anything like that we do is dove and deer. We're willing to do most any of it, but that's what we do most often.
Okay. Well, if you're ever down in Florida Panhandle, you give us a call when you come back on our TV show.
That would be awesome.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Watch your side. Watch your side. You're off. Okay.
Hold up. We told you.
Okay, welcome back. Let's take a look at our fishing game times today, brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. Our time this morning, 5:36 to 7:36, and this evening from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Let's move this out of the way because I have my tackle box here. It's been here a while. I've been wanting to go over everything in it with you, and I got a few minutes left, so I want to go ahead and show you. I love this tackle box. I've had it a while. It's sort of been bumped around and beat around, but it's been a good. Plano is at the top of the line. You got a little zip place up here, got all kind of stuff in it. And I really use this, okay, can you see that pretty good? On the sides, I have this little packet right here. I always keep this with me, but you keep my leader line right through here, okay, all my leaders. And I love it's amazing that all the progress been made on fishing line over the years, and we haven't seen the end of it yet. On this end right here, I keep my little tools right here. I love this little thing. It just covers a lot of stuff as far as I need to get done. On this end here, you can see I've got different saltwater stuff here. And then I have my 4 boxes. Let me see if I can bring them out. Just bring them out one at a time. This particular one here, all my plastics. Okay, I got a bunch of them in there. Okay, this one right here. My spoon collection. You never go anywhere without your spoons. Got some gold spoons. Can you believe that? I'd never go anywhere without gold spoons. And then a lot of Paul Browns, just a lot of different plugs in here, top water plugs and all that. It's just a combination of stuff. But really, that's a really go-to box right here. And then a combination of it. Here's some more right here. You can see the different. You can see the colors. In fact, let me open it up for you so you can see the colors. Obviously. You can see the colors I like. Okay, that's a better example right here. Really good stuff. And I love some of these. You know, we never talk much about this color, the beige color. It's just been over the years. It might have been one of the most consistent colors of all. That little off color, beige color. Different colors come in. I say they come in a style. You know, years ago, we never would fish with anything like this, but now these skittle walks and all are just really good for that. Okay. So that's just a quick synopsis of it. I have a completely different surf fishing tackle box. I don't have any of my surf fishing stuff in here, and I just have a little box itself, and it's just full of all of the pompano jigs and rigs and the fish bites and the lead and the line and leaders and all that. So when I go saltwater fishing, it's a different box. But also, this is when I go fishing in the bay system and all. Let me mention the Paul Browns. I got them in this little segment right here. This is a soft, okay, little soft plastic and a semi-submerged, and this has been a really hot item, and I'll be honest, Greg Brudnick is the one that started fishing with him and told me about them, and I have a collection of them. They've been really good. Again, skittle walks have been good. So all these are for different types of fishing. And my problem is I just love all fishing. It could be 40 miles out, red snapper or king mackerel, or come in here pompano fish, or run there to the pond and catch a bass. I love it all, I really do. But it's just special. Just bait fishing and looking for redfish and throwing a cast net for mullet. Every time I go, even at my age, I still get excited going fishing. All right, y'all have a great day today. Do something good for a fellow man. Enjoy the outdoors. Hope you really get a chance to do some outdoor stuff this week. You have a great day, and God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.